The West said never again after the Nazi genocide. But did they mean that to apply only when the victims are white? I'm Tony Karon, I'm the editorial lead at AJ Plus, and as a Jewish person, I was raised with these images of genocide seared into my brain as something that could never be allowed to be repeated. And yet, here we are, seeing the images that echo that same horror, documenting the same physical effects of deliberate starvation and brutalization, this time on the bodies of Palestinian children, and this time with the perpetrators being Jewish. Now, how is this monstrous inversion even possible in a world that has for decades insisted that this could never be allowed to happen again? Let's be clear, it's happening only because it is being allowed to happen. It's being allowed by the impunity that Israel is guaranteed by its Western armorers and enablers. And perhaps that impunity is maybe a horrifically twisted extension of the sensitivity to anti-Semitism prompted by the images of the Nazi Holocaust when they first appeared, because Israel has shamelessly and cynically over the decades claimed the Nazi Holocaust as license for decades of settler colonial violence against the Palestinians it displaced and subjugated in order to create the State of Israel. In recent years, its advocates have even codified as anti-Semitic any statement that actually compares Israeli actions and policies with Nazi behaviors. But Israel's actions invite that comparison. The images produced by those actions, which the world now sees in real time, make such comparisons unmistakable, whether or not the words are spoken. Nazi violence against Jews required that Jews be dehumanized in the minds of Germans. So the never again guardrail against genocide really begins with the sensitivity to and fierce rejection of any dehumanization of any group of people. The problem for Israel is that the settler colonial project, the violent displacement and subordination of an entire people, which is what was necessary to create Israel, depends on dehumanization. So how do we make sense of the catastrophic moral failure of those who have for so long professed never again to halt a genocide that's actually within their power to stop? Talking about the Western powers here, could it be that these powers, in their actions and in their discourse, tacitly accept the dehumanization of the Palestinians, in the same way as those powers had for centuries themselves dehumanized the peoples that they had colonized? So the images out of Gaza don't lie. Like the images from the Warsaw Ghetto, they really leave no doubt as to what's transpiring there. So today, Gaza should make us ask, how far has the West really progressed? Is there any explanation for Western acceptance and enabling of the Gaza genocide